We have officially made it to lesson 7. So good job, guys. Pat yourself on the back. This is the last lesson in the packet. We are looking at adding and subtracting to solve problems, which is mainly focused on real world applications. Our learning target is we are learning how to simplify integer expressions and apply integer rules. Our success criteria is I can add and subtract integers. I can identify and apply integer rules, and I can evaluate integer operations using real world applications. Their learning goal is let's apply what we know about sign numbers to different situations. Okay, so their learning goal was let's apply what we know about sign numbers to different situations. The learning target is I can solve problems that involve adding and subtracting rational numbers. Now, the warm up for lesson 7 is very similar to what we did in lesson 6. So it says without computing, is this solution positive or negative? So we have a negative 2.7 plus x is equal to negative 3.5. So it's x, the value here is x, considered to be positive or negative? That's the first question. And then question 2 is says select all the expressions that are solutions to this problem. So um, now that you figured out whether x is positive or negative, this is the same equation, but now they're asking you to circle each one of these that match the solution. So I would solve for x now, and then solve each of these and circle each one that actually matches the same solution as the value that you got for x. Again, our glossary or our word bank is the same. We're still looking at deposits. When you put money into something, withdrawals mean you are taking money out. Now, the very first activity for phone inventory, let's go ahead and read this. Come on, it moved a little too far. All right, so it says store tracks the number on the cell phone it has in stock and how many people it sells. The table shows the inventory for one phone model at the beginning of each day last week. The inventory changed when they sell phones or get shipments of the phone into the store. So here we have 18 is how many phones they started with. Then -2. So we're looking at these changes. What happened here? So if you look at question set 1, it says, what do you notice or what do you think it means to change? Is positive or negative? So over here, remember we talking about phones. Our inventory is how many we already have in stock. And the changes means that I'm doing something to the phone. So it says when they sell phones or get shipments on the phones into the store. So the changes is either saying I'm selling it or I'm getting a shipment of it. So they're asking you, what does positive mean? So if I get a positive number and change, what does that mean? And then if it's negative, what does that mean? Okay. Question 2, it says, what do you think it means when the inventory is positive and negative? So inventory, left hand column, what does it mean to be positive? And then what does it mean to be negative? Question 3, it says, based on the information in the table, what do you think the inventory will be on Saturday morning? So we already filled up to Friday. Based off the change here for 20, so we started at -2, our inventory. Our change was a positive 20. So they're asking what would be the inventory on Saturday and explain your reason. So how do you know? And then finally, question 4 says, what is the difference between the greatest inventory and the least inventory? So again, looking at the inventory, you're going to find the greatest number, which is the highest value, and the smallest number. Okay. And they're asking for the difference. So remember, anytime you see the word difference, you're going to subtract. And that is the warm up for that is the first assignment outside of the warm up for lesson 7. All right, now we have a real world application problem. They gave us solar panels. So it said Hans family got a solar panel. Each month they get a credit in their account for the electricity that is generated by the solar panel. The credit they receive varies based on how sunny it is. So here's the electricity bill from January. In January they used $83.56 worth of electricity. And then they generated $6.75 worth of electricity. So here it is, showed over here on the right hand side. Our charge was $83.56. Anytime we get solar credit, that means I'm taking money away. Okay. And so the amount they actually have to pay is here, say $76.81. It says in July they are traveling away from home and only uses $19.24 worth of electricity. Remember that the solar panel means that we're gonna get credit. So this would be subtracting. Solar panel generates $22.75 worth of electricity. So what does the amount do in July? So you're gonna do 19.24 minus 22.75 to answer question 1. Question 2, it says the table shows the value of electricity they use and the value of electricity generated each week for a month. What does the amount do? So again, guys, I would just go ahead and fill in this chart. So I would add another column or just put an equal here to find out the total for each week. So for example, we have 13.45. It's how much I used, but my solar panel generated negative 633. So what was the amount they actually had to pay? And then do the same thing here for week 2, week 3, week 4, or you can tally it going straight down vertical. So you can add up how much they use, add up how much they generated, and then subtract the values here. So that'll tell you how much they owe in a month. Question 3 says, what is the difference between the value of electricity generated in week 1 and week 2 between week 2 and week 3? So after you tallied how much they made each week 1 through 4, subtract week 2 and week 1, and then subtract week 3 and week 2 to find the difference. And that's what you guys are doing for questions 1, 2, and 3. All right, here's the very last problem, and then you guys will be officially done with lesson 7. They want you to plot these 4 points on a coordinate grid. So we have A is 5 and 4, B is 5 and negative 2. Remember that plotting coordinate points, you're looking at X and then Y. C is negative 3, negative 2. D is negative 3 and 4. So first, plot all these points. The first question is asking what shape will you get when you connect all the dots. So plot the points and then connect the dots, all 4 of them. Remember that the x-axis is horizontal and the y-axis is vertical. Then it's asked you question 2, what is the side length for figures A, B, C, and D? So literally, I would just count the spaces to find out the side lengths, and I will write them on the side of each shape or each length. And then question 3 says, what is the difference between the x coordinates of B and C? So C is negative 3 and B is 5. So the difference, I'm going to subtract negative 3 minus 5 to find that answer. And then question 5 asks, how do the difference of the coordinates relate to the distance between the points? So go back to question 2 when you found out the distance for each value in between each line, and then I'll answer your question from the what's the difference between the distance and difference. And once you guys have answered those 5 questions, then you will be done if you are completing the packet. Um, if you are completing a PowerPoint, it says, how do you find the vertical and horizontal distance between 2 points? And the answer to this would be the distance between 2 points. The distance, you're going to take the absolute value. Then it's asking, how do you find? So you're going to subtract and take the absolute value. And then question 2 is asking you the difference. Difference, you just subtracting. Question 3 says how to make the distance between 2 points, and the difference between 2 points different, because one uses absolute value, which makes it positive, and the other one just subtraction, so the value can be positive or negative. That's the difference. Lesson synopsis. What are some situations where adding and subtracting rational numbers can help you solve problems? So you can use any examples that we used in the packet, or you can create your own. Finally, the cool down. It says here some recorded keepings from a coffee shop about their paper towels. Cups are delivered 2,000 times at a time. So again, here we looking at the coffee shop and the chart. So Monday through Sunday, they're asking you what happened. So remember, we starting off with 2,000 here, and then every time we changing. So remember, you looking at paper cups. So if it's asking you what does the positive mean, what does the negative mean in relationship to the paper cups? Question 2 say, assume that the starting amount of coffee cups is 0. How many paper cups are left at the end of the week? So we starting off with 0. I would total these values up. So Monday through Sunday, add all these values together and find out what you will have. Question 3 says, how many cups do you think were used on Thursday? And so here, go from Wednesday to Thursday, try to figure out how many cups were actually used and explain how you know. And again, the asynchronous work is out of order. So if you're completing the PowerPoint, again, you're going to fill in these charts here. You're kind of going backwards, but you're filling in transaction 3 and 4. Question 2, you just answering each of these values by subtracting. and you guys will be done. If you already did the packet, then you guys already did the asynchronous work prior to getting to lesson 6 and 7. If you have any additional questions, you can send me a message on Verge, and or you can ask me during class time. Have a great day.